I get an I love you from my brother. Maybe every 300 I love yous I give to him.
Does that ever make you feel a little bit insecure? You're still going to fire away because that's the type of person he is.
No, because he was stuck living with me when I was a cokehead. I put him through hell with it.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised he even talks to me.
That's amazing.
I'm surprised I can get him on the phone.
That's sweet, though. That's real sweet.
The coke, or what are we talking about?
Hey, buddy, you know where my head's at. And knows.
You're listening to the Dear Buddies podcast.
You will grow from boys into men.
Whatever, dude. What does that look? Don't get weird on me.
Hey, buddy.
For all those questions you can't bring yourself to ask your friends, ask your buddies.
What's up? Welcome to the Dear Buddies podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to jump right into this puppy because I am jacked up for our very special. We have the newest edition of podcast royalty. You just got knighted into the Hall of Royals from the Are You Garbage podcast. We've got H Foley, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop it.
Oh,
Get
my
outta
goodness.
here.
You did just do the LA scene, and that was like when the Beatles came over to America. Everyone was like, "Oh, they're a big deal now. That's it. That's it. They're big. They're famous now."
Did anyone ask you about like, hey, why do you have such a weird haircut? Like, hey, don't worry about my haircut.
Yeah. Brian Callen said they're good, so you know what? They're making it.
The war in Vietnam is not just.
But it is just for you to have a nice, successful career ahead of you.
Thanks,
that is,
pal.
Vietnam, not so much.
Thank you.
Foley having success. This is great.
Thanks, pal.
It hasn't changed you at all, has it?
No, I got $200 in my checking account.
I do notice that you don't have tape around your glasses anymore. That's nice.
I just got these today.
They look brand new.
In Astoria.
He definitely is not. Now he's at Keeps.com because that hair is flowing. Yeah, it really is.
Got that Rogaine money.
Yeah. Are those tortoise?
They are tortoiseshell glasses.
Glasses? I like them.
I had to. If I don't do anything impulsively, I don't do it. And I've been wearing the same pair of contacts for 6 months.
Yeah, give it a
literally 6
monthlies?
months. They were monthlies. I've been wearing them for 6 months.
Goodness
I realized
gracious. Those peepers are too successful.
I bought a 6 month supply 2 years ago and stretched them out over just not realizing it. And I sleep in them all the time. And I broke my glasses. And the only time that I could put them on is when my girlfriend would super glue them together, but they'd be like crooked and weird. So I had to fucking do it. I had to get glasses.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I was just riffing about your glasses taped together. Didn't know that was a thing.
I had no idea. We had no idea they were using Gorilla Glue to
I was not these. My
the old ones. Yeah, we didn't know that. We
Don't worry. Once he gets Rogan, it's LASIK for him.
So how you been? What's new? Tell us everything.
Everything's great, man.
Pod's going well?
Pod's going well.
You guys just had Tom Segura on.
We just had Segura on. He was amazing.
That's big money.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah, we just finished a little run of shows. We got a bunch coming up in the end of the summer and the fall, and all is well. We're excited.
Yeah, but he still hangs out in the corner smoking cigarettes.
Yeah,
I drove by the other day. I go, Foley!
Yeah,
he was smoking a Stoke and a wife beater.
It was the most Queens thing ever. He rolled by, and as soon as I heard the first, I knew it was you. And you just go, Foley! And I go, what are you doing? He hasn't stopped. He's still slow rolling.
Yeah.
And then the light changes, and he hits it, and he goes, I got spots! And just disappears into the night.
I said spots, but it was only a spot.
Yeah, all is well, man. I can't complain. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Congratulations to you guys.
You're the best,
the studio's beautiful. The building's beautiful.
Thanks, buddy.
It's
well,
nice.
we wanted to talk to you about, this podcast we talk about being more vulnerable and emotional as men.
How much money do you need? Let's quit. Well,
that was my first.
$200 in the checking it. I can give you 50 now.
We want to open up a little bit more and see about how vulnerable we can get.
Take a couple bucks
with you.
I'm not investing in any property in Toronto. That's where this is going.
You got any Bitcoin? Cause sell now.
Yes,
it ain't good.
Buy my mom's house, please.
I'll still take that 50, buddy.
That's the first question. How much money you got? No. Could you buy your mom a house? Or could you buy your mom's house yet?
What are you nuts?
I don't know.
No.
Success is so varied in comedy.
Buddy, outside
to
of
me,
Philly,
you're
you
a
can't buy your
millionaire.
mom's house. I seen the above ground pool. It ain't going for a mill.
I'll tell you this. She almost got caught up in a phishing scam a couple weeks ago.
PHISH?
Like, where they get into your phone.
Oh yeah, that happened to my buddy.
Yeah, and I had like $6,000 in my savings account, and all of a sudden we got back from Buffalo, got into the Uber, You know, driving home to Queens. I'm like, let me take a look at the account, see what I spent, see what I got. Fucking negative 67 cents in my savings account. I fucking freak out.
It's panic.
Panic. Call my mom. I did something stupid. I'm sorry. Turns out that all Navy Federal had done, they created more savings accounts for us and put it in there. They caught everything. Oh. But, I mean, just so you know where I'm at financially, $6,000 would have ruined my family.
One Nigerian prince sneaks his way in and you're toast.
Yeah.
You take the Philly out of the kid. Fucking fuck that. Whatever it was.
I mean,
I was watching you fall apart for the first Philly.
You know, for the first year that we were in Tootie's, like the studio that we got now, you know, everything was going back into the business.
Sure.
Into the business. Any money that we got, I spent is fucking immediately.
Which is probably smart why they didn't let you have money.
You're the Allen Iverson of podcasts.
I borrowed $10,000 from Navy Federal to go to Hawaii. That's I swear to God.
You really you was invested in that podcast. You're like, this is gonna be great.
You gotta lock that puppy up until you hit 50.
Oh, you're a human NFT.
So, I'm bad news, man. I'm terrible with money.
Well,
So yeah, we're not buying your mom's house.
I'll still take that $50. I'm gonna ask again at the end of the podcast.
You said your mom got caught up in it, or
Well,
his mom did.
This is even more shitty, more garbage. My only savings account is the savings account that my parents started for me when I was a kid, and her name is on the savings account as well. It had $5 in it up until maybe 3 weeks ago. Now there's a little something.
When was the last time you went to the doctor and you were like, I got to get off their insurance? It's like, you're 47, Foley.
Hey, make with a lollipop, will you? Give me the tetanus shot and let me get a shot at the treasure chest.
Did they call her and then she picked? That's what happened to my buddy. He got a phone call from an unknown number.
And
he picked up, and then next thing they know, they took over his WhatsApp. And they go, we got your WhatsApp. They called his mom. They texted his mom, and they like, if he wants his WhatsApp back, you know, he needs money and all this and that, which I didn't even know that this was possible.
She says that that's all she did, but according to Navy Federal, they were like, she would have had to given them a routing number or a checking account number.
Yeah, because they didn't get into his finances.
They got right into it. Yeah, it was a fuck, dude. It was panic. My brother had to get involved.
Mom.
Oh, dude, we were
Such a
screaming
sweet
at her.
lady. Who's this?
How many times I don't fucking do that shit?
So are you going to get your own savings account?
Not now. And I got the AAA security. Now I know that Navy Federal's on point. You kidding me?
So let me ask
is
you
Navy
this.
Federal? Is that the U.S. Army and the U.S. Navy?
It's a credit union. Yeah, it's Navy Federal Credit Union. They handle all branches of the armed
Your
service.
dad was in the
dad-
Navy, right?
My dad was in
I was
the
going
Navy.
to say your dad was in. Okay.
Yeah, that's
You
how
have
I
to
got
be.
it.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
'Cause I always see those.
You're not getting anywhere near the front
Buddy,
door.
you don't think my girlfriend's got Army connects? I'm in there.
They'll shoot a cannon shot over your bow.
But he doesn't have any entry into Navy, Federal, Credit, or Union. He's got no words covered.
Yeah. Trying to open an
Chuck
account
that one
there.
out the door.
I had a G.I. Joe. Let me open an account. What the hell are we talking
I
about
just saw
here?
Top Gun. What's going on? You treat me like this?
YMCA. Give me an account.
I hate Putin. Let me in.
So when you found out that you'd lost that money, and you jokingly said you were crying to your mom, did you actually cry? Like, what was that feeling when you?
It's that.
What did you think was happening?
I thought that they had gotten it and it was gone. I didn't know that any of that shit was insured or anything like that. But I also don't know how the fuck long is that going to take.
Yeah.
They gotta do
You'll be out the money.
It's a
they got to
headache.
do an investigation,
Yes,
2-3 weeks. I'll be dead by then.
Can't tell your landlord you got shit going on over there.
Yeah.
You're getting philosophical as hell with your mom. You're like, tomorrow's not guaranteed, Mom.
Yeah. My mom's got a half a hot dog and a hook hanging out of her mouth. She got fished. I'm not going to tell you. Fucking dumb broad. Killing me.
Gone fishing, buddy. Danny Glover style.
Yeah. So, no, we're not rich by any stretch of the imagination. But it's doing great, and we're very grateful, and we're happy, and we're excited.
We're happy for you because
Thanks, pal.
we've seen you, through the years, do comedy and do it sort of like us and slug away.
Yeah.
And it ain't easy.
Yeah,
so,
I've seen it a couple times bark at the lantern back in the day.
100%.
but it's good to see people who are actually genuinely funny, good dudes succeed. It
Thank
really,
you, pal.
of course.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey,
And I wish you guys the best of luck with this.
Thanks, buddy.
This is a great show.
I'll say this without any provocation. I don't know if that's the word. Normally, when I see people,
Those drugs? I don't know what drugs.
you got to go to a
ED,
doctor
right?
to get a provocation. When I see people get successful, it normally bothers me.
Sure.
And I know I don't say it, And I think it bothers all of us sometimes. We don't say it. There's few people that have been like doing well, and I'm like, goddamn right.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Kevin, not so much, but you, happy for you. Buddy.
Well, in the podcast community, it seems to be very not like trying to keep anybody coming from behind you down. It's trying to help them as much as possible.
For sure.
Like, dude, Ari was so great to us. Barstool KFC was so great to us. Schultz is so great to us. Chrissy D. You know, just anybody that we've had on that didn't need to come on and do the show. It's like, I feel like in the mainstream.
That's the old way.
Yeah, well, I feel like in the mainstream now, like, you know, when someone's coming, if someone's similar to you that's coming up behind you, you try to keep them down as long as possible. But in podcasting, everybody wants everybody to succeed.
There's
to do
enough
well.
room for everybody, but there's only one spot for me in the old model. And if you're coming up, that
100%.
means I'm going down.
100%.
But this way, it's, you know,
Yeah. You
water
know,
finds its own level.
anybody coming up, it's like, well, you know, in a couple of years, I could do that if I have to move tickets or this or that.
And
it's
you-
really good.
You guys did that You guys had multiple podcasts for multiple years,
did.
And what you guys do now, you sort of implemented it as like a side initially, right? I recall that
Well,
you
we
guys
did-
Hard feelings?
We had so we had Center City Comedy first.
Yes.
We did that for 5 years, and then Kevin and I just together started doing Hard Feelings, which we'd like do it out of our car, and we'd bitch about this, and you know, running around doing spots. And we had always played the game, you know, are you garbage to each other, kind of like, you know, on like road gigs. Like, did you do this growing up?
Yeah.
Did you do that? And like, you know, that was garbage, this is garbage. And then we kind of just figured out how to, you know, maybe weaponize it a little bit. And we did it on the Center City Comedy Podcast once. I was
I
like,
think
hey,
I was on that, bro. I think it was at the
maybe-
standing room.
No, maybe we did it twice. It couldn't have been the standing. That was it? Jesus,
Yeah, I believe
was it that
so.
long ago? We did it once or twice, or maybe when we started having people on after I did it initially, we're like, we should play this with, you know, people when we brought them on. And then Center City Podcast fizzled out, and you know, we did a couple other things in between, and we were still doing Hard Feelings, and nobody was really listening to it. And then right before the pandemic, we ran into each other at New York Comedy Club, and you know, we were both like literally at the same time, like, I think we should make Are You Garbage a podcast, and that was it.
Was Center City, were there other people involved with that?
It did rotate a little bit. It was me, Cassidy, Chavone, and then Reggie, or maybe Reggie too, in the beginning.
Are any of them
Reggie
coming after
would-
you for royalties since it started on there?
no,
This was a Center City idea.
No, Kevin and I thought of it, and Kevin and I thought of it, and you know, Kevin and I laid down the groundwork. Like when we went in and did it with them the first time, they had no idea what we were doing.
Right,
I was like, well, I want to do this thing, and we did it, and we were all dying laughing. You know what I mean? Just making fun of each other, and yeah, no.
Do you ever think like big picture why it's becoming this like monster and so successful, or are you just not even putting thought into it, going, hey, it's going amazing.
Wait.
Let's just keep it moving.
It keeps me up every night. What are you, crazy? No, we've analyzed and overanalyzed and hyperanalyzed the whole thing. I think it's us stripped down to our best form. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know exactly what it is when you hear the name Are You Garbage? You know what you're going for.
It's
What
also
keeps you up?
Just, like, no,
The-
saying like,
Can
yes.
we keep the momentum going? And
Just, yeah, it's
Yeah.
The fear of it ending keeps
it's
you
not
up.
even the fear of it ending, but yeah, I'm an insecure, low self-esteem guy as it is. But just like you're asking me, like, do we analyze it? Yes, we analyze every bit of it, why it works, what works about it, et cetera, et cetera.
It's also
100%.
fun to see people how they grew up too.
It is,
Is
yeah,
to
that's
see
another
the
thing
difference,
too.
the different childhoods people have had. Because I think with the Northeast kind of thing, everyone's kind of the same. Mm-hmm. But when you meet a guy from like Iowa or something like that, you're like, oh, that's fucking completely different.
But then you find out that even with those differences, everyone, their parents did the same thing. Their parents
Exactly.
were crazy. They did this, they did that. Schultz kind of put it into a good phrase. He said, it humanizes comedians.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when you find out how they grew up. Like the one episode that like really stuck out with me, the first time we had Mark Norman on, I thought he had grown up completely different than what he actually grew up. And his story's wild. Like, his parents moved in to this, they bought this huge house in like this, this poor neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. And the way he grew up and like how his parents were, how his family was, I thought he was like Johnny Cool Guy in high school, but he wasn't. He had like this really hard, he grew up in a really tough area. And, turned to like skateboarding and all that kind of stuff. And it was just real interesting to see,
Yeah, so you had a moment where you're like, oh shit, we're actually onto something here.
Yeah,
finding
100%.
that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you know, not even like from like a business point of view, thinking like, oh, we got something here. It was just very fun and interesting, and like learning about comedians is, you know, was really
because everyone's a different walk of life. Comedians, everyone's different. Like, there's so many different kinds of friends who are comedians.
Except for you and the rest of Queens. Couldn't pick one out of a lineup.
And that's how we fucking like it, all right? We want to be the same person.
Some guys put the prosciutto on the bottom of the sandwich. Some guys put it on top. I don't know. You got oil and vinegar people. You got mayo people.
No, fucking
One
go
is
to
a
mayo
little
with a
one of
sandwich like
these.
that. You out of your mind? There's no mayo there. What are you, fucking crazy?
$2 for a slice of prosciutto. You put mayo on it?
You want to hear something funny? He came over one time. We had hot dogs at my parents' house, and he goes, I want to put ketchup. My whole family.
Really rolled out the red carpet for him, huh? What was it, Thanksgiving or Christmas? He had to bring his own dog.
Yeah. He brought his own bun.
I asked for ketchup.
And my whole family was like, "What are you, fucking psychopaths?"
Really?
Yeah,
It wasn't even available.
Wait, well, I don't understand why. What,
mustard, sauerkraut. That's it. No put any ketchup on a hot dog.
I mean, I think your family's just crazy. That's not like a Queens and Italian
How
thing.
did you eat bologna?
Bologna.
Bologna is just flat. It's just flat hot dogs.
Wait, you put ketchup on your bologna?
Bologna, cheese, ketchup,
guy a
white
friend
bread.
of yours?
That's disgusting.
You're a
That's
gross
actually one
human
of the
being,
most-
honestly.
A little bit of mayo,
yeah.
some cheese, maybe a little butter.
Yeah,
You put
and-
mayo on a hot dog.
Yeah, and then you look
Same shit.
Then you look at your dad and go, "Make some more money. We're eating bologna."
Shouldn't you be working?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out at 4 o'clock in the morning, throwing fucking newspapers at people's lawns. He comes home with a bologna sandwich. You know what? I'm gonna fucking eat it the way he gives it to me. All right.
Cheese
You're
on
bitching.
bologna.
Sometimes cheese if things are well.
You put cheese on everything, though.
If
You put
Sal
cheese
sold
on
a couple of
everything.
extra cars, it was cheese.
This guy puts-
And bologna. To this day,
You
right now,
wrap
give me a
your-
bologna, ketchup, white bread. I'm in fucking.
You wrap your
heaven.
bananas
Love-
around cheese.
I put cheese around bananas.
Whatever, you know.
Cheese and
It
bananas
doesn't go together.
Do you also do because you're a big foodie? Do you ever do the cheddar cheese on a slice of apple pie?
You know, I've heard it. I've tried it. Didn't really
It's
do
not-
anything
yeah,
for me. But
it's not a thing.
When I was a kid, the snack was a slice of white American, like pre-wrapped cheese around a banana. It's one of the
Wait,
greatest.
your
snacks.
mother would give that to you?
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
I don't think she was proud of it. I don't think she was like, "We've
No,
made
she
it,
wasn't
son."
proud of it.
But
What
it
do you-
was.
I
it
can't
was
even
a
see where the
snack.
correlation.
I don't either. I have no idea.
You
but I
can't
remember
make sense of it, bud.
Yeah.
But I remember
You can't
eating it,
really-
being like, "This is incredible."
Huh.
And to this day, I'll still go, "Is there any cheese around here? If I got a banana, it's fucking delightful."
I was a cold hot dog guy when I was a kid.
I love a cold hot dog.
Love
I
a
love it.
cold
I love a
hot
lot
dog.
of things cold, to be perfectly honest with you.
The next day,
Chicken,
real nice.
pasta,
Oh,
Yeah,
cold.
standing in your
I'm
underwear
into it.
over a fridge. That's the best way to go.
I always say that's how you know you went to a really good Italian restaurant is the next morning or the next day you eat it out of the to-go container cold.
I love it.
That's
I
how
love
you
it
know.
cold.
Last night I made a big pot of sauce and meatballs. Today for dinner, I just had a couple scoops of cold sauce, a couple chunks of meatball. It was
Yeah,
fucking delightful.
it's all right.
Yeah, it's
it's
good stuff.
all right, man.
So what we want to do today with you is that in honor of you being here from the Are You Garbage universe,
Thank you.
we want to play a game called Are You Vulnerable? That's
Okay.
what we want to play with you.
Okay.
We want to kind of combine the two ideas here. Are you vulnerable? And we're just going to try to dig down to see who H Foley is. What does the H stand for? Nobody's ever asked. What is it that makes you tick? And we want to find out and see how vulnerable we can get. You
Okay,
down?
we're gonna start crying. I can do that now.
Buddy, if you
Yeah,
could,
buddy.
yeah.
Are you a psychopath?
Buddy, if you start crying, clip it, Nick. All right?
We got him.
Subtitle the cry. I don't give a fuck.
That's just the end of the episode. You cry once, and good night, everybody. We did it.
These walls fall down.
your family's out here. We did it.
Yeah.
And what are you doing eating ketchup on a hot dog?
Kippy's out there.
Your mom
with
never got
with
fished either. She had $6,000. Give it to you.
Kippy's got the pink slip for you. Goodbye.
That's what Kippy said. He's like, that whole fishing thing was bullshit. She just stole the money.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow the house is in perfect shape now. The loan's been paid.
That's the garbage part of it. You only stole $6,000 though.
I
That's
know.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Not like Dane Cook, his father stole millions.
I know, it's crazy. Billy Joel's brother-in-law or whoever it was ganked him too.
I gotta be honest though. I think that if my brother-in-law, brother, whatever, was like crazy successful like that, and they put me in charge, I don't know if I couldn't skim a little bit. I just don't know if I had that kind of access. I wouldn't be like, you know, I want to buy myself a bike or I'm going to buy myself a car. He'll never know it's a round off. Like, I don't know if I have that in me to not steal from him.
Here's the thing.
When I have that kind of money.
If it's successful, you're not doing the finances.
Buddy, I'm doing the finances now. I'm successful and it ain't going
I'm taking over the finance if we get money going in here. Jesus
Well,
Christ.
let's figure out if you could read first.
Yeah.
If you can, how much did Dane Cook's brother take?
Oh, it was like 3 million, 4 million.
So if he would have asked for it, if he would have said, hey, you know, incrementally, I'm taking this, I'm taking that, he probably could have got $1 million without fucking ruining his friendship.
$3 million
with his brother.
from Dane Cook ain't probably that much. From
Yeah, but when he's out there busting his
I
ass
think
for
3
it.
million.
no, for sure.
I think 3 million. A lot of people see 3 million.
No. I'm saying if he would have asked and he would have been like, hey,
Oh,
bro,
sure.
I need money.
Oh, yeah.
Dane was at the level where
Yeah.
he could have been like, here's a couple mil, right?
Yeah,
I think.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
For sure.
There's also, he got that's the other thing too, is he had a job. Like, he gave him the job of being as a business manager and accountant, and he took advantage of that.
That's why.
I'm only saying that I don't know, because I've never been in that position where I've had access to that kind of money.
Sure.
And I know what I've done with the kind of access I have with money.
Yeah.
And it ain't a lot, and it just becomes a lot less.
I'm terrible with money. That's what Kippy handles all that.
Yeah, it's
he's
bad,
the brains.
It's bad news.
I think
It's bad news.
that might be able to lead into our first question,
Yeah,
right?
so let's
Do we
play
not
Are
have a
You
finance?
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
With Are You Garbage Royalty?
Are you vulnerable here on the Dear Buddies podcast? Is it so? You got money now. You got a little cash. Well,
I
maybe
don't,
maybe
but-
not a lot. We thought you
I'm
did.
sure everyone in this room except for Pavone has more money in their savings account. What do you have in your savings account? Is it over 10 grand?
If I show you my savings account now, you might throw up.
Because
I think it's like $209.
What about you? You probably got your commuted money. Are you kidding me?
I got some people. You know, I got some things. A couple aunts owe me some cash.
Don't ask him about a savings account. Ask him about what's under the mattress.
Yeah, shit. What's underneath the doghouse in the backyard?
What country? My American or my Canadian? Because buddy, let me tell you. From
Internet.
coast to coast.
You got a couple of toonies on me.
This guy's got Cayman Island accounts you don't know
Buddy,
about.
I'm crumbling all across the continent.
Really?
Yeah. You open one up in. I open one up in Mexico. Maybe I'll fucking.
I'm surprised at what, people save. It's insane. And still live, very frugally. You know what I mean? Like, I'm spending it like I have it. I don't have it. But, there's people that have, like, 80 grand in the bank, and then they're still taking the subway, and I would try to buy the Mets or something. Are you kidding me?
Why do you think you're bad with money, though? Because
I'm an idiot. What do you mean?
But is it by design that you don't have access? Does Kippy keep it from you on purpose and
No,
just
he
puts
doesn't
it? No, but
he
not like
doesn't keep
stealing it.
anything. No.
But is he not paying you?
He knows that I'm an idiot when it comes to money,
Right.
and we would both be broke if he didn't handle the finances.
keeps it from.
No, he's not keeping it from me.
Well, there's a
vault in the
reason he
Federal
gives it.
Reserve.
It's not like Ike and Tina Turner.
Yeah.
But there's a reason.
Patriot hit 10K today. Let's call the Phillies up. Let's see what's going on.
There's got to be
in
a
the
reason
vault.
why he's booking the flights and not giving you the money to book the flights because he's
because
scared of what
he's-
you would do with the money.
Yeah, because I'm stupid.
This guy would have courtside seats to the Sixers, ready to go every game.
I got good news, bad news. We can't afford a plane to Cleveland.
Yeah, but we say hi to Joel every game, so don't worry about
we're
it.
sitting front row at Wimbledon.
Is that tennis? I think.
Why am I bad with money? I was the younger child. I was babied a lot, even though I started working when I was 12. You know what I mean? Like I was, washing dishes at like a diner and stuff like that. And my brother, did the same thing, but he would like put his money away and he would go to bed on his own at like 9 o'clock. I would stay up until 2. I'm just
So you picked up
idiot.
bad habits.
Sounds like you're fun, and your brother's a
He's
loser.
a fun guy, but you picked up bad habits early, and then you continued that for.
I wouldn't even say that I picked him up early. I think it's just inherently in me. I'm just a fucking dirtbag.
But do you think
be
that there might
honest.
be a little bit of like, because I kind of have this
No
thing.
one ever really taught me about, like my parents were good with money. But maybe my dad not so much. Again, my mom handled all the thing. My dad would.
Did they struggle with money, and you knew about it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were lower middle class for most of my childhood, and I was born in Wilkes-Barre, which is upstate Pennsylvania, and then when I was in 4th grade, we moved down to a more nicer area near Philly to be closer to my mom's side of the family, and I think to give us a little bit of a better opportunity.
Sure.
So we were always kind of behind the 8 ball there. Like when we moved, we had a nice house up in Wilkes-Barre, and then we moved down to a place called Bluebell. We lived in a townhouse community for like 4 years while they were trying to save money together, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I'm terrible with money because something about me thinks that and this is only something I've recently discovered about myself, is that like I'm constantly afraid of dying. So I'm always like, what's the fucking point of holding on to this? Because I'm not going to be around long enough to send it.
100%. Constantly afraid of dying. Fucking, yeah. If you have it, spend it, tip good, fucking break this off, buy the drinks for people, buy dinner, I'll buy dinner, I'll do this, I'll do that.
That's a thing where, like, I think it's where I think, are you vulnerable about?
But it's not to look cool. It's really not. No. It's just because I don't want to have the social anxiety of, well, let's split it up and it's like, no, I got it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I think that's more of, I think it is part of like being emotional of like, I'll fucking take care of it. I don't know how I'll make the money back, but I'll fucking do it. Yeah. Where it's just like, it's.
Yeah, you're looking at it, pal.
Yeah. You're in it, bud.
But it's a thing, though. I do that too. Where like, just fucking give me the bill. Or give it. I don't have. I could have $100. It's 80. I'm like, whatever. I'll fucking struggle 100%. This week. I'll struggle. I also don't want people to think. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, here's $4 here. You owe me.
You don't want to be the guy that
you owe me
cheap.
$7 from last week too. Is why,
dude. It's wild waiting tables. I would see dudes in there like bozos with fucking 9s and 10s, and they're like, "Well, you had to this." I'm like, "What are you fucking still getting laid? Like, what the fuck is going on?"
Yeah,
crazy.
Makes you think about the girls though. Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's wild.
But wild. Yeah. So what are the think about? Is it vulnerable or? What
does vulnerable mean exactly?
Just being able to.
We didn't think about that question. Explain that one.
This fat fuck comes in throwing curveballs.
That wasn't in the prep. We did.
What? 4 eyes, just yes and it. Okay.
Foles, one of the main vulnerabilities is shame, and your podcast.
I'm full of it.
It's what connects.
Sure.
All your listeners and all the people who love you guys.
No, yeah, I was joking.
No,
yeah,
I know that, but it's tremendous that one of the major vulnerabilities, you guys have spun it into this positive light, and are making people connect.
And that's what a lot of people say to us. I thought, I used to be embarrassed about this growing up, and knowing that so many people. When had the same shared experiences, makes you feel okay with it.
100%. And that's what we're trying to grow and trying to figure out our vulnerabilities.
Sure.
So
it's funny now.
I ain't never heard of no cheese on a banana though. I'll tell you that right
that's
now.
Mental.
Yeah.
Mental.
That's not even poor. That's psychotic. I think. Yeah.
A little hand in hand.
I think it's funny now because like, is it vulnerable to admit you're successful now? Even though for so long you weren't, so but like now people are like you kind of just when we said you're doing great, you're like yeah we're doing good. You really weren't.
Are you kidding me? If you say it, then it's gonna get taken away from you. Don't you know how fucking jinxes work? No, I could never say that. We're doing okay. We're doing well.
See, you're not admitting it though. You're still not admitting your guys are you're successful. Is it vulnerable to admit you're successful?
I'm not going to admit that. I don't. Yeah, we're doing well. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal's successful. You know what I mean? Like, when you get to.
How successful is he? You pronounce his name wrong. It's Gyllenhaal.
Jim Gyllenhaal.
You fucking idiot. He ain't doing that well.
I don't know.
Brad Putt? Who's this guy, huh?
Well, let me ask you this. More to that, you guys have a Patreon that is public. So people can see what's going on there. Like, how does that make you feel?
You got him. You got him on edge. It's turning red, baby.
It feels good, and the audience likes to see the progression.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's a really good feeling. I mean, to say I wouldn't say I'm successful by any stretch of the imagination. I think when you get to the point where if it all went away that minute and you wouldn't have to go back through everything, then you're successful.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. It makes sort of. I know where you're coming from, but I don't know if it actually does make sense. But I understand where you're coming from.
If all of a sudden for some reason this went away tomorrow, I would be back. I'd be fucking hosting again. I'd be out going for fucking Fat Guy #2 auditions.
But that doesn't mean that you're not currently hit a peak of success. That you can't take away from that.
Stop saying successful. I'm telling you right now.
All right, this George Costanza.
I went because I wanted to do a big intro for you.
You're the one that fished my mom. I'm broad.
I had the idea, but time-wise, we bailed on it. But you have 16 credits on IMDb. I was going to read through all your credits as your intro because I was going to do what you do for other people.
That's so sweet.
But funny enough, hot dog vendor. man, guard, fat man,
Delivery guy.
Henry / fat guy. I don't know why they need to do that.
And
That's your real name.
one movie, my agent got them to give me a name. That's a big thing, so it doesn't say like Bozo next
Bozo number 4.
Yeah, so it doesn't say Bozo number 4. It says like Mike.
Can I get Bozo number 1 at least?
So I got them to give me the name Mike, and still in parentheses they put Mover 1.
But you think it's a Philly thing though too, Northeast thing, that it's to be able to
The humbleness.
Yeah, to big up your achievements is something that, not that you're like being arrogant about it.
Well,
but
I think all of us in this room, negative reinforcement is what is getting is what our main motivation has been since we were kids. And I don't even mean like negative, and like, my dad's out there hitting me, but it was always,
speak for yourself, bud.
I might have took a right hook or two.
I got pushed into a wall or two.
Oh, anytime I got hit, I deserved that. You should have hit me harder. Are you kidding me?
No, you ever been thrown through a wall and it breaks the stucco and you have to fix it? Also, you're patching up the wall. Like, Christ almighty, Sal.
No, I know what you're
These
saying.
studs in here. Jesus Christ.
These are too far apart.
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're
We're
saying.
five
though.
underdogs in here. We can
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Yeah. So you always have that mentality. And, I guess if, when we all get to a certain point, we'll be able to look back and say we're successful. We're very grateful for what's going on. Things are going well. And,
And I get it. It's fear of losing it and fear of somebody else being like, who the fuck does this guy
who the
think
fuck
he
does
is?
this guy think he is? I
yeah.
would never want that. I would never want the audience to think that, like, I take any of this for granted at all.
No.
Anything anybody sends us or makes for us, it means the world. It means the world to us.
I wish that we could show your fans specifically what you say about them off air.
Never. We love them, man. It's fucking.
You guys.
Yeah, they say, why did they look a lot like me? I stumbled to that one. Sorry. Twice,
What do you got over there, big guy?
You're looking for a writing job.
Whatever. All right, this is good for you and Kippy.
Wait, what was the first one? What was the first question?
Is it vulnerable to admit you're successful?
Is that no? I think that's arrogant to say you're successful.
Okay.
Or is it douchey too?
Yeah.
It depends how you say it though. If you're walking into a conversation and you're like, I got $100,000 in my bank account, you're like, yeah, it's a douche thing to say.
Yeah.
You would never say you're successful, but if you go to New York tonight, comedy club, and you go, what time am I on? And it's a Rolex. You're being real like this about it. Like, it's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But
no,
that's why
never
you don't
that.
want to hide it. Yeah. That's why you want to like not be too much about it.
Yeah.
How about this? Is it vulnerable to tell your boy you love him? It's tough. Have you ever told Kippy you love him?
I tell you guys I love you.
Yeah, you do. You definitely
I
do.
love everybody in this room. I don't know if that's vulnerable. I do it though. I know that.
So you're good telling your boy you love him. Yeah.
If I love you, I tell you 100%.
But not in a joking way though, in a serious way.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no. I tell you guys I love you.
I mean, you have to blow the guy right there. Is that what you have to do?
Hey, then yeah, absolutely. I'm in. No, yeah. I mean, we were always good with that. My family's very affectionate and loving and stuff like that. But like when it comes to friends and Kippy and stuff like that, when Chris passed, I made not that there was anything left on the table, but you always make sure that you tell people how you feel about them, because you never know if it's going to be the last time that you see them, which that's not any great mist of wisdom. Everybody knows that. So,
but to understand that and acknowledge it for your own life, I think is a lot more more important than just knowing that thing exists.
Sure.
Actually owning that and like living that way is pretty good. Did you change? Did anything change for you when Chris passed away? Like did you see any immediate, like other than the grief, like was there anything like that is that when you started telling people you loved them? Is that when you started appreciating more
we
things?
always did it. We always did it before, but just like that was that shined a light on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What about with your dad? You tell your dad before? I find it tougher to tell my dad I love him than my mom. I tell no problem. But my dad, it's still weird with my dad.
Nah, we were always, no, not at all. It might be, I get an I love you from my brother. Maybe every 300 I love yous I give to him. So I see what you're saying, but no, my dad, no. I always tell. I'm pretty open with my emotions as far as everybody. I overly do it. Like I tell my cousins, you know, like my younger cousins that like I'm boys with now, I tell them, I love you, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You know what I mean? So,
But that doesn't deter you.
no,
You're
not
on a
at all.
mission to tell
No,
people
I want you to
love
know
them.
that I love you.
Wait,
I love you guys.
You say you love your brother more than he says it back to you.
100%.
Do you ever? Does that ever make you feel a little bit insecure, or,
No.
or you're still gonna
No.
fire away because that's the type of person he is?
No, because he was stuck living with me when I was a cokehead, and you know I put him through fucking hell with it.
Okay.
So yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you guys
I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised he even talks to me.
That's
I'm
amazing.
surprised I can
though.
get him on the phone.
That's sweet though. That's real sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's really nice.
The
for
coke,
sure.
or what are we talking about?
Hey, buddy, you know where my head's at. And nose.
You butter me. This guy's like an asshole, huh? Am I right?
I was gonna say, now we're talking here. I was getting excited.
Is it vulnerable to say? I don't know. You tell. Is it? Yeah. Is that a vulnerable thing?
Absolutely.
Of course, that's
dude.
vulnerable to tell somebody that you love them, especially if you don't know how they feel. But your friends, yeah, I think it's important that you do. You know,
Okay.
especially now, you know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I think it's important. I think it's what you just said is important for people to get over that. I have a struggle with that with my family. I can't, like, my mom just started hugging me with two arms, like in the last year and a half, only because I
Really?
called her out. She was never like treated well as a child. Like she grew up in a shitty
Yeah.
house, this and that.
Yeah.
So
I
she
was
very-
lucky that I grew up in a good environment like that. Yeah.
But my dad always would like hug like a lot. My mom barely hugged, so I had this like kind of warped view on like ability to be able to be emotional.
You got a
and that
fucking
people-
problem with me, man?
I to now she'll hug me so hard. She's like, "No, don't go anywhere." I'm like, "All right, I get it."
Hey,
Making up for lost years
Yeah.
here, lady.
I do throw
And
that
she's the
in-
sweetest person alive. Like I love her to death, but like
Yeah.
she just wasn't. She didn't express herself.
Yeah, no. Emotionally, I'm a mess, and also in tune with them a little bit, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know,
How about this one? This is tough because I know coming from me doesn't sound
I feel
great.
like I'm on
honestly.
Ellen right now.
Yeah. Listen, Henry, this is what you got to do. When everyone busts balls, is it vulnerable to take someone over and go, "Hey, that hurt me"? I think that's tough as comedians because we're just
Exactly.
born to take it.
Have you ever been hurt to the point where you've had to stop someone and go, "Look, man, can you back off?"
Because you're going to be called, you know.
Sometimes people cross the line without even knowing they cross the line and say something. That
I've definitely
hurts.
crossed the line on people a lot and had to apologize.
Like when what so? How so?
I mean, nothing really specific, but like, when when the breaking ball starts happening and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a pussy with that stuff. If you started making fun of like, acting or anything like that, I would get a little sensitive about it. But I don't know if I'd pull anybody aside.
Okay, so you'll get offended or get hurt by something, but you wouldn't go like, "Hey, man, can you like that really fucked me up?"
No, I don't think I've ever done that. I think I've just what I would do is I'll
You have
throw,
cheesecake.
Find me over at Junior's. What'd you say to him?
That's a 4 in the
Fucking
morning.
halfway through a Dolce Leche.
That's a 4 in the morning refrigerator session. That's what
It's cold meatballs on a Saturday afternoon.
That's my therapist.
yeah. I should have fucking said this, and you're eating.
Why do you think you can't? Or got like guys in general? I think that's a tough one to be like admit that you were hurt by another person.
Well, I would just fire back with something that I know would hurt you. Oh,
So you try to cut him deep with something,
Yeah.
with a dagger.
Yeah, that's
a
that,
Foley
that's what I
dagsy.
do. You start getting
A
a little,
Philly special, if you will. No,
I ain't talking about no bootleg passing. I'm talking about going for the jugular.
I was talking to my buddy before, and he
That's
was
probably why your wife left you. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. I just said you need to lose a little weight. You don't get too close. I just said I didn't like set it up as a movie. Fuck you.
I was talking to my buddy, and he was saying that he sometimes feels he can't do it. Like, if someone says, "Hey, big guy," because he's sort of a bigger guy, and it's not an insult, it's not a joke, but he just feels like a pussy if he even says that people are, that those words sort of upset him.
Huh.
So, he's not a comedian. We got a little bit thicker skin than the regular people.
Yeah.
In some extent, because we're also very sensitive people,
Sure.
too.
I mean, the fat stuff I've been hearing all my life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it hurts. Not now. I know nobody's trying to hurt me. But, there was times obviously coming, when I
Except
was
for
a
your
kid.
blood pressure. That's out to get you.
Cardiologist over here. What does he know? Yeah, I think I've just become bulletproof to stuff like that because when I was a kid, it did fucking hurt me. It hurt me so bad, but drove me to,
Not lose weight.
Eat more cheese.
But I've been called Big Mike my whole life, even before when I was just a regular sized kid. At least I thought I was a regular sized kid.
You're 9 feet tall.
Yeah, Mike, you were born 7 feet out of the womb. Yeah,
Show us the proof, Mike.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I weighed 380 pounds. Like I was a massive.
How tall were you?
6'5". But I was playing football. I was like, and then it just converted into like tits after I got out of high school. But even like this weekend,
You don't weigh that now. You've lost a lot of weight.
like 300 and change.
Really?
Still up 3+.
He's a big boy.
He's a big kid.
Tune you up. Bro.
We were me and
How
my
many
girl-
Pavones do you think you could fight?
all of them.
Yeah.
the whole family.
Hey, scumbag.
My
dude.
dad
I'm talking about you knocking out his cousin.
They were here this weekend. If you wanted to go, we would have went. Central Park.
How many could I fight? How many of them would want to fight me? All of them.
The
I
whole
said-
fam.
I say 6.
What's his grandma gonna do with it? I
say
mean, if you cloned him, I'm saying.
I say 6 pavies, but you got to catch us after a second cup of coffee, because that's when we're at our ferocious.
We talking
Catch
one
me
at
in
a
line
time.
at Tim Hortons. I'll fuck you
Oh,
up.
fuck, doubles for the 6 of the Pavs. Oh, we'll bite, baby.
But
Oh,
me,
we'll go.
me and my girlfriend were buying an RV this weekend. And to be honest, she was buying an RV, and I was sitting next to her.
I thought you already had one.
We got a new one. The other one got infested. Not the point.
And
Infested with what?
they had
Roaches and
rats.
rats.
6 of us.
They had rats.
A bunch of Pavones in there.
But we're
We're calling
sitting there,
exterminator from Canada.
we're sitting there with the
Put a
guy.
bunch of meatballs outside. They run out. Who's garlic nuts at these? Just wander at the front door.
I just went, ooh, garlic nuts.
Wait, where was this? Was parked upstate, right?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
How do you not get? How do you get roaches outside of the city?
It wasn't roaches. It was rats, mice. I think a coyote took a shit in our bed. It was
Really?
disgusting. So we had to buy a new one. But apparently now, like all these dealers, they're like offering they'll sell you anything. They don't give a fuck anymore.
Sure.
And the guy goes to me, both of us are sitting here, me and my girlfriend, and he goes, they're selling health insurance now. Like you can get health coverage through your RV. And he goes,
That's the trashiest thing I've ever
buddy.
heard in my life.
It gets
If
even
you have a
worse.
heart attack, have it in the RV, though, okay? We got the ambulance coming.
Drag your body.
But then the guy looks at me, he goes,
There's tire marks all over you. Hey, he just died in his sleep.
He got into a car accident inside. I don't get it. I don't know.
he says to me, he goes, this will cover anything. He goes, do you guys have any he asked if he had pre-existing conditions.
The guy selling you the RV?
Asked if
I'd been like, hey, dickhead, mind your own fucking business and make sure I get a free propane tank.
I was so shook because this is what he said. It's worse than he said, you have pre-existing. He goes, if this is you're me and this is my girlfriend, he goes, you got any pre-existing conditions? Diabetes? He looked right at me. He goes, diabetes? And I didn't know. I was
Diabetes, small penis.
crippling depression. Like I was so shook that he said that to me. I didn't even know how to respond. I didn't even realize it happened until later. Becca goes, did he just ask you if you have diabetes? I go, I think so. Like it was so out of left field. And I'm like, am I that fucking, like, what are we doing right now? I'm sweating through my shirt. It's pretty obvious.
You're eating a
that
bucket of Skittles.
In that regard, when it's like not a friend, but like, I think when I was waiting tables, people would, be like, of course, you know what's good here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fat pig.
Oh, is that because I work here?
Yeah.
That too.
I had that too with like not anymore, but being called dumb because that's what my brother used to make fun of me for growing up.
I got news for you. Yeah. You're a nice kid. You're good looking kid. If you got more than a 4 on your SATs, I'll be stunned.
400? No, 4.
4, yeah.
This guy wrote Keith Hernandez for every answer.
No, it wasn't. I spent Mike Piazza. I said Piazza.
I always forget about Piazza, man. And he's a Norristown kid.
Yeah,
I got news.
but that was one
When
thing.
you're a kid, that's tough. What would they say to you?
But you just did.
I'm sorry. I love you. I love you.
No, but that was one thing I really fucking struggled with. My brother, it's a bad relationship, but that always would get me with that. Because he was a smart kid. So that really fucking got me. That would bug the shit out of me. Because I heard him saying it. It wasn't just you. It wasn't the people. It was him.
Yeah, I was dumb too. I was fat and dumb. I got that combo a lot. I would get that fucking 1-2 punch. You're fat and fucking stupid.
You're like, at least I could lose weight.
You're my
Not reading any
social
more
studies
books, though.
teacher. I don't know why you're telling me this. One time my dad was real mad at me. And I love my dad. We have a great relationship. He's an awesome guy. But he hit me with one of those. Like, I was, like, late for school. I was flunking out of something. He's got to drive, like, 300 miles to get to work, fucking drop my mom off. And I'm in the back of his, he had a pickup truck that had, like, those little fold-down seats.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in the back, and he's, you stupid motherfucker. Man, I felt that one to the bone.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Ralph did that to me one time. We were moving something, and I fucked it up. And I think he goes, Chris, you could fuck up a wet dream.
Oh, man.
But what about now? How's your dad feel about you now? Like you've turned your...
He's great. I mean, they have always been so supportive. Yeah. I mean, anything in the arts or whatever might as well be fucking Mars to my family. But yeah, when I didn't do well in college, and I was like, I want to leave college and I want to try to pursue acting. They were totally cool with it. And yeah, they've been nothing but supportive all the way through. And yeah, they like it now. Not that they didn't like it, but they're very they're very happy and they like to see the growth of it. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a good one. Just got a little hurt on that one. Yeah. Good stuff.
What were you saying, dummy? I apologize.
Yeah, call me a name or something. That was too real. Oh God. How about this one? Is it vulnerable to show up to a party first? Be the first one in the joint, because I have a thing where
I think you're a loser.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's vulnerable, but I know you're not getting laid. I can tell you that.
Dude, this loser said he always wanted to be the first one in the party.
When I was a kid,
I don't think you guys know what vulnerable means. I don't either. But what does that show up to the party and do with it? You ever re-gift something? Huh? That's vulnerable, right?
I think what he's saying, like,
you ever take back the envelope at a wedding because you didn't like the entree? That's vulnerable, right? No, you're a scumbag. What does vulnerability have to be the first one showing up to a party? There was no traffic. I don't know. What the fuck does that have to do with it?
Well, this is all right. So this is what it is, though. I was a kid. I wanted to show up to this party early, and my dad goes, "Don't show up because it looks like you have nothing else to do that night." So that was the thing. It was like biggest scene.
At the Booker in Dangerfield. I do got nothing to do.
No, but
I'm 8 years old.
He collects the trash for them, though.
That's awesome.
Well, I used to like to be the first
you
one.
Let these broads know you got things going on. You're 7. Here's what, if you get there early, is what you say. Yeah, I got a thing later, and I want
you neg him because you neg him, Chris. You put him down. You go, what kind of slippers are those?
Man, that's too fucking funny.
No, but that was the thing. Like, don't show up if it looks like you have nothing else going on.
Which is
true. I always took that. I never show up. That's why I'm always late.
That's why you're always late.
That's why I'm always
waiting on you.
Yeah. It was.
I did 5th through 8th period. That was it.
Yeah, me too,
But
buddy.
I'm busy. They all passed me because I thought I was a big shot.
Here comes Shooter.
Got an A in math class. I never went. She thought I was doing big things. Well, he must be out doing something. I'll give him an A. Oh, man. That's why you're a bozo. That's why you're always showing up late to spots and whatnot. Whose party was it? Joey Calvacola or something like
You want to know
that?
her name? Bessie Anzulis. Yeah, a little Greek girl.
Sounds nice. High school, and we all could rattle off 10 names from our high school that would sound made up but are completely real. It's so crazy. Like you would, if you sat and tried to make that name up, you couldn't. That's a perfect name.
That was my first girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
Betsy?
Bessie? No, not Betsy.
Bessie Scott Lupus?
And you were going to show up late to her party.
Yeah, I did show up late.
She's got to make her think he's got other broads.
This guy's a fuck.
I had 9 parties today.
I walked in, she was dancing on the table. I knew then she was a hooah. That's what it was.
How old were you?
5th grade.
Damn. Oh, my God. She's cutting guys' ties off.
Hey. We rolled deep in Queens, all right?
I always had FOMO. That was my problem growing up, and I still do.
Oh, 100%.
So I would go
Comedy is built on that.
But I would be like, I want to go early to help set up the party, like a kid, like when you're a kid, not like an adult,
buddy.
But I would be like, oh, let me go help them, put the pizzas out.
Yeah, he goes,
Go into the fridge. Hey, your 9-foot buddies.
Going through the fridge looking for cheese slices. Oh yeah. We'll put this on the cake.
There's a great
Come on, do you have any bananas? Is there any tables I can help move? Oh,
but you know why? And I would do all that because I didn't want to miss a second of the party. I didn't want one thing to happen where I wasn't around to like be a part of it because I was just so unconfident as a kid, and I fucking hated myself. So I was like, if I could just be at the place where everyone's at for the entire amount of time, I will be cool finally.
That's pretty good.
And so I always wanted to go to the party early.
Huh. Man.
Yeah.
You're learning a lot, huh, Foles?
The hosts aren't even there. It's like, yeah, we're still in.
I swear to God, I would go. Sometimes they're like, "Well, the party's in 3 hours." And I was like, "Well, just in case." And like, I guess you can go to the basement where like the kids taking a nap still.
In the garage doing an oil change.
All of a sudden, they hear the lawnmower going. I got it. Holy shit.
Yeah, and I would do it. I swear to God, because I just didn't want to be. I didn't want to miss anything.
What else
Because
you
if I
got?
missed something, I was still going to be a loser.
Let's rock them with a sentimental, sweet.
This is one for tonight.
Yeah.
Do you get your feelings hurt if you're not invited to a party?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I remember. I think I've told them this, and my emotions when it comes to that stuff is so misplaced. Like, you know, it's so misplaced. This guy fucking hates me. I hate that fucking guy. And then, hey, don't Foley. Hey, buddy, good to see you.
I'm the same way, especially with comics.
One, I don't know if it was their first one, but Robbie and Casey had a Super Bowl party that I didn't get invited to. And they posted the picture. And I remember telling my girlfriend and her being like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And like I remember sitting there staring at the picture, like I can't believe who was there. I can't believe they didn't invite me. And then like Kevin's like they invited you to 5 different things and you said no every time. Why would they keep inviting you? Because I want them to like me.
I want the power to say no.
Yeah.
yeah.
That never goes away, huh? Doesn't matter from when you're 10 to 68.
No, FOMO never goes away.
No, it gets. I think it gets
That's
worse
something you have
for
to
me.
deal with. I'm trying to deal with now, and the pandemic was obviously a terrible thing, but that first 2 months of the pandemic was so good for me personally because every single fucking night for the last fucking 12 years before that was not me sitting there working on my craft. It was what's he doing? What's he got?
Yep.
What'd she get? Why'd she get that? Why is she over there? How come they don't fucking book me? Why is this? And that went away instantly. And it was just like, put in a frozen pizza.
Get that Elio's.
It was good when no one was doing anything. You're like, no one's getting better. No one's
getting
doing
better.
this.
No one's it all fucking went away.
Yeah.
Over fucking night. I mean,
No one's getting better.
No, that's
That's not at
That's
all.
a hilarious way to look at it. No one's improving. The world's fucked. How many people are dead? 8 million? Good.
Yeah.
They weren't going to get better anyways.
But just from the comedy industry point of view,
Yes.
when that just fucking was like, oh, okay, nobody's doing anything. All right.
I think that's half of what comedy was for people like us.
Dude.
Was not I want to be out doing comedy. It was as much because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one not doing it, so therefore I have to just kill myself trying to do this.
Yeah, I mean the pandemic was such a fucking eye opener
yes.
for our industry. It was like, wait a minute, I wanted to be on this show or that show or fucking this, that, and then you realize none of that fucking bullshit fucking matters. I mean, it can matter, but it doesn't matter.
Except for being on the Dear Buddies podcast.
100%.
Obviously.
100%.
You still, though, get a little... It couldn't have gone away fully. There's got to be some things that tweak you, and then you pull yourself back and go, well, this doesn't matter. But it's just human nature.
No, yeah,
things
of
are
course,
still,
of course. I mean,
but now it's elevated.
well, no, I mean, I'm 46, so, my idea of, success was very antiquated. I wanted, a late night spot. I wanted fucking SNL. You know what I mean? I'm not going to deny that. I really, really fucking, wanted that. And yeah, you want to do... You want to do everything that, you thought when you were a little kid, when you laid in bed, you know what I mean, of what you thought success was or what you thought, doing good was going to be. And then, it's a very strange thing that, I never would have fucking known podcasting would be something that, would help me reach a big audience. Let's say that, or reach people and mean something to people.
Yeah.
That doesn't go away.
First time you guys sell out a club or a weekend. What was that? What
We're
was
weekday guys, but okay.
What was that feeling? What was that feeling for you?
They're still garbage, all right? Remember
Last
that?
time you got 100 people on a Tuesday night. Yeah.
What would that do to you when you went, something I created
Oh,
now
dude.
gives me the ability to do the one
him
thing I
and
love
I have
most?
fucking, we've both shed tears and the hugs and the
That's sweet, man.
and all that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, every fucking day. Yeah, Tom Segura fucking walks through the door. You're like, what the fuck is going on? Yes, we are extremely aware and extremely grateful for what we have. And, you know, the big names and all that stuff is one thing, but the connection that you find when you meet people after a show, that connection that's there is fucking so deep. And it's fucking so awesome.
You never changed. Like, when people get stuff, they fuck off sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You never changed. You always were the same guy.
I don't know what you think of. I got like $8 million.
No. But
He's been successful for 7 minutes. Let him get some time in there.
I've seen people. I wish you didn't pick up my calls. I've seen people get less than you and already start to eat.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I know.
So what you're saying?
I also started to see a trend in that go the other way a little bit. Even around the pandemic or after the pandemic, especially. Like, I think it's so great that, like, you know, even if say people have mainstream success, you see 9 of our friends on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chase show. He has all his fucking boys, all his guys. The thing that Pete Davidson just did.
Yes.
Fucking giving all these awesome comics that are his fucking squad an opportunity to shine.
People.
Yes, that's what it's fucking all about. Yeah.
It's very not getting too big.
Some people don't do that though.
But
no, I know some people don't do that.
But not getting too big is one guy that honestly I've seen was Schultz. Like I'll text Schultz and he'll respond. He should not. He should not respond to me.
But I don't want to respond to you.
Yeah, no,
the fucking coolest. That's how he's
that's
so
how, I've seen
fucking
that,
legit. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like that's crazy.
But that's
he
a reason
never,
why
ever
successful.
got too big. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first like met him. I was a goober, just fucking got up here shitting at the cellar, trying to, hey, you doing good to see you, eating wings. And he remembered me from doing our show that we ran at the Raven like 2 years earlier. And at this time when I'm having this conversation with him, he is a megastar on fucking MTV. Guy Code was fucking through the roof. And as he's walking out, he comes up, he's like, hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. He's like, you run the show in Philly? I'm like, yeah, you doing good to see you, Jochi? And it's just like, damn. Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about with podcasting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Schultz is so confident in how good he is at what he does that anybody else's success isn't going to take away from his, and he loves to see it.
Yeah.
That's Scopo, that's a perfect example.
Yeah. I'd always talk to him about every person he met after the show, he looked into their eyes.
100%.
He says hello to them, and then he met my boy through at one of his shows. And he came to do my show. He's I remember you. He didn't remember his name, but I remember you. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But he has that vision of like, oh, I'll look into his eye and just remember this person.
Yeah. Cotton told me a story that Keith Robinson took Cotton to some big event. I can't remember exactly what it was or the specifics of it, and these 2 huge stars came in. I'm not sure if it was them. I don't want to say their names, but 2 monster stars were there. And Keith leaned over to him and was like, "Watch these guys." And they were going around, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, it wasn't fucking Johnny Cool Guy. It was, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey,
You're working the room.
Working the fucking room.
Well, one of them's Kevin Hart. So
those are the guys that get there. So being a
but
fucking
work in
dickhead,
the room to do it politically.
No, not politically.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like people are genuine, but you know that genuineness.
Yes, yeah.
You know
usually,
that shit.
The people that really, really succeed are actually genuine. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Tom Cruise isn't fucking doing this for the money anymore. He's he genuinely wants to make the greatest movie of all time. You know what I mean?
He just did.
And he just fucking did.
He did, yeah.
Take that, Putin, you fucking piece of shit.
I
Fuck
think we
with
got
the
time
wrong
for
guy.
1 or 2 more. What else you got? Let's just pick a good one to close out on.
Okay. Is it?
Just ask. You don't have to.
No, I want to set this up.
I love the dynamic of you guys yelling at him and having zero confidence with him answering the question. Do the one right there. Do the one right there. What I tell you? I have nowhere to be, by the way. I don't know if you guys got spots. I'm chilling. I love this. This is great.
Okay, then
We'll keep going.
It's getting hot in here.
Scopo.
Is it vulnerable to ask for help when you need help from your girlfriend, or like if you're not doing well with you need going to therapy? Admit you need therapy.
You guys did your homework on this. Yes, it's vulnerable, and that's something that I couldn't do for a very, very, very long time. Yeah, I thought,
Why couldn't you do it?
I'm telling some fucking person all the fucking fucked up shit I've been doing. What are you, nuts? Fucking keep your mouth shut. I'm patting her down every time I go to a therapy session.
You got a wire on you.
Just mirror two-way, huh?
There's no mirror.
That is extremely vulnerable, and that is an extremely difficult thing to do. And anybody that has done that is, knows that is that's a very special thing. Yeah, I couldn't acknowledge that for a long time, especially with drugs and stuff like that. To sit and say, this is an issue and I don't have control over this, and emotionally, that's very tough. That's very
yeah. Look at you tensing up. It is tough with drugs to finally be like I mean,
we're all the same people. Pretty much. We all have the same comedic brain. We all, we certainly, none of us are industry darlings by any stretch of the imagination. We all think the same way. Like I said, we went over, the negative reinforcement and stuff like that.
If anything, I'm the opposite. I've sunk 3 networks. The second I get a show, I don't know what you're talking
about, fatty.
Second I sold a show. I sold a show to, they approved a show for CNN Plus, and the next day they were like, CNN Plus is over.
CNN Plus? What the hell is that?
Exactly. It's no longer around.
Why would you even pitch that?
I'm the opposite of the darling.
I can't believe FXXXXX didn't take off.
Yeah.
But no.
So what was have you talked about like what your moment was at doing drugs that you decided this is when I need to stop?
Was there a moment?
Like a bottom?
Oh yeah, I mean, the bottom was I was in a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment in Sunnyside, Queens. My brother had gotten engaged. He had moved in with her. I had 0 friends in New York. I was fucking waiting tables. I was doing blow, and I had bed bugs, and I had to throw out every single thing in my apartment. And I was just in this apartment, fucking doing coke, sleeping on an air mattress, and my desk chair was a yoga.
Ball?
Was a yoga ball.
Those are good for your back, but whatever. Everything else is bad.
I was doing blow. I think there was a lady of the night there with me watching porn together, and my cigarette went down and popped the yoga ball. I was completely naked, covered in olive oil, and I hit that floor, and she started laughing at me, and I was like, I got to make some changes.
So many follow-ups to that. Why were you covered in olive oil?
When I did coke, it like stimulated like my sex drive, so I would just jerk off. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking like the first time I did it. You go through the normal partying in high school and college and all that stuff. But then when it started to, when other people moved on, that was the nitty gritty. It wasn't like I'm gonna go out and have a few beers.
A bump, and
and maybe get a bump. No, it's like get the bag, do the bag.
Go back
let's
to the
start
apartment.
Fucking doing weird shit.
Yeah. Let's go back to the apartment. We're alone.
Fools.
Yep.
With like the podcast.
Am I pulling this?
No.
We're all doing it.
With the podcast doing well, so now you're making a little cash, not too much, of course. Don't want to jinx it there, Costanza. But you're making a little cash. You guys are working all the time, which is another thing that comedians always. We need to be out. We need to be doing shows. Is there anything else that we don't see that you specifically are like, God damn, that is, I'm so proud of myself? Something that's given you confidence that your podcast has instilled that you didn't think you could reach that level personally.
Kevin James Ryan has given me that confidence. Okay. He gives me, I break his balls all the time, stuff like that. He gives me that confidence. His confidence gives me confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like your dad driving the car when you're asleep in the back seat of the car with the AC on. You can smell a little bit of cigarettes. There's like a baseball game or AM radio on. And it's
familiar
that no matter what, if they throw boulders at the car on the turnpike, you're going to get home safe.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be
well, like one of the things that sometimes I struggle with is like
I don't give you confidence?
No, well, yeah, buddy, or yourself.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's tough to, be in a profession because, like we were saying, we're all competing for something. It's tough to look at another person and go, that guy's fantastic. Mm-hmm. That guy does this. I also do something else, but this guy
I've always been pretty good with that. I mean, the only time that I was ever like, fuck this guy, why is he getting that, is because, or, whoever, is because I don't think they're funny. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing I'm going to say, Foles.
Or didn't think they're funny
in
at the
the
time,
last-
and that's flawed to look at it that way.
In the last couple years, though, this podcast, whatever it brought out of you, has made you unflappable comedically.
Thank you. Man.
What
I
you're
appreciate that.
doing right here, right now, you're unstoppable.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
I think the three of you.
No compliments
it's a zone.
back.
No,
No
it's a-
compliments back.
I'm being
We
genuine.
don't want it. We don't want
do it. Don't
I'm
There was
just
no
saying,
hot dog on a hook. We weren't
money-
fishing.
No, I'm gonna-
money aside, success aside, you're in a comedic zone.
I can
And
punch
that's
up. I
what
can
we all
punch up
need
a
to
tag
do.
or two.
Or down.
No, and I mean this genuinely. That would be.
Yeah,
like,
that was genuine.
There was no, and thank you very much.
Yeah.
I love you, as you know that.
Yeah.
Everybody in this room, if no matter what happened tomorrow, I would be like, that makes sense. That's 100%. That's fucking awesome. They should have that. The only time that I ever got wary of the industry is when some bozo gets something like, this guy stinks. But if anybody I care about and think is funny got something, it's like fucking yeah, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're in the zone. You're in a zone right now, and I think that's what you and Kevin.
AutoZone, maybe.
Nothing on that. I love the AutoZone. But yeah, so
Thanks, pal.
Of course,
And
bro.
you guys too, man. I think this is fucking. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that you guys fucking went out and you got your fucking studio. You're putting your identity behind that. The three of you are working together. Fucking Nikki's fucking fantastic. Everybody's doing them. And
I got
it's
one more
fucking
question-
great to see.
one more
I'm-
question. This
I'm
is
very
actually-
proud of you guys and congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
You're a sweet
This
man.
is
Thank
from
you.
Nick. This is from Nick. Is it vulnerable to see your sports team lose and you cry?
lose or win.
Either or. I say lose because
Cry at sports.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, and I think there's a type of person that could say that like this fucking guy's crying over baseball, but like, or something like that, but I think there's people out there that take it way too seriously in a way. But I mean, like when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, as fucking, you could say it's lame or whatever you want. There was my aunts that fucking loved them, that fucking went to every game, that fucking wore this, and they passed away and this and that and everything. No, I think that's what it's fucking all about, man.
it's funny
So,
because
those guys don't give a shit about you. It's like, I know that I'm not expecting Bryce Harper to loan me $8,000, you fucking idiot.
He won't return my emails. Well, I don't expect him to.
But no, I think that's
It's more than the sport.
but do you ask me if it's this whole line of questioning doesn't make any sense. Yes, it's vulnerable. No, it's not bad. How about that?
I think the
That's
question
the
was.
answer, I think.
The question
Yeah.
was, have you ever cried at sports?
Oh, dude, 100%.
Of course he
yeah,
has.
Fucking 100%.
Well, we know now.
Look at the fucking kid.
Dude, every time Notre Dame fucking takes the field, I get fucking welled up inside. I never went there. I could
Rudy?
never get in there. Fucking, but you
Is
know,
it Rudy?
No, because of Rudy.
I don't know. I cried at Rudy.
Irish. I don't know.
Yeah, upstate Pennsylvania, Irish kid, poor kid. I mean, that was the out, was going to Notre Dame. You know what I mean? My dad fucking loves Notre Dame. Every time I see those fucking golden helmets at the
There we
field,
go.
fucking shed a tear.
You played
Always.
college ball.
I did. Yeah.
who?
I played Division III football for a season and a half at Widener University.
Isn't
Well, a
Widener
little far
University
off
a
Notre
high
Dame.
school? Isn't Division III
Elementary school.
Major League High School?
It is Division III.
The other
There's some good
team.
guys. There's some good guys who come out of D3. Marpay, he was a tackle for the Bucks. He won a Super Bowl. He was playing Division.
Yeah, that's
III.
right.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So what is something that like sports will trigger you to cry? What's the type of thing that'll get you welled up?
I mean, this.
Hippie clearly on the on a
Yeah,
long-
no.
Field of Dreams.
I definitely have glory days in me, 100%.
When they reintroduce Mountain Blast at Taco Bell?
I just made a move on taquitos. Oreo crusted taquitos got me all choked up.
Mentally and physically.
Taco Bell just did something real sneaky with the chalupa. I don't know what it is. Right, Nikki? They're putting something on it. I don't know what it's like, Dorito crust or something, or they're putting cheese on the outside. I don't know.
It's a. It's
Taco Bell
a.
consigliere.
Me and Nikki have talked food fucking for
I need
hours.
to know what's going on with the chalupa.
Tell you who the ice guy is at fucking 7-Eleven.
It's a recession. These cocksuckers are cutting it back everywhere.
they make fun of me a lot for this, which, rightly so. But I really, honestly, I know that people, Glory Day, high school football, I got so fucking lucky with who my high school football coach was, my 2 high school football coaches, and my fucking wrestling coaches, and my college lacrosse coach. I'm talking about fucking dudes that were so fucking solid, that committed themselves to this. They made such a great environment. And you guys are athletes. You go to a high school, you want to play football. What if the coach is a dick? What if fucking the program sucks? I was so lucky with that and had such a storybook, textbook fucking, movie-esque experience with all that. Those kind of things make me, get me emotional to think about the things that I learned in high school wrestling. Is, like I said, as lame as that sounds, but we really, it was Pennsylvania wrestling. We really went through it. Like it was nuts. And those lessons that I learned from that, applied them to comedy. That really, that gets me emotional.
You in touch with these people still?
Yeah. 100%. I talked to, 2 of the guys that were on the team were, have been great friends of mine since I was a little kid.
What about the coaches, though? These are the guys that made the impact.
Yeah, of course. I reach out, when Facebook started to become a thing and I got older and was able to look back on it, I always fucking reach out to, shout out to Coach Del Muto, and just say, yo, I don't know if you, and Coach Kramer as well. I was like, I don't know if you realize this, but like how much of a fucking impact you've made on, and that's echoed from fucking hundreds of kids that they've crossed, sure. That they've crossed paths with. And when you get older, you really appreciate it, and you send them like, damn, man, you were fucking so awesome.
Yep. See, I wish I had. Yeah. So I had a coach like that, Coach Sims, who made me feel like there was one specific moment coming back from a football game where I don't know what happened. I was on a tear at the front of the bus. He was just sitting across from me, and I was just riffing. The whole bus was losing it, and he was like crying, laughing. And
we lost 38-0.
I have no idea what happened.
My crowd work was on point.
I have no idea what happened in that game. But he was crying so hard, and he said to me, he goes, "This is the funniest moment I've ever had." He goes, "You are fucking hysterical." And I still remember this day, and that I think is where the first time I went, maybe this is a thing.
Maybe I could do this.
I reached out to him. I wrote this long, like, sappy shit. He saw it. Never replied.
Hey, dickhead, my RV's infested with fucking bed bugs. You told me to go for it. Now I'm taking.
No, that's 100% right. Yeah. I still think about it though that he's never replied to my message. And I wrote a very heartfelt thing to say, look, man, you're and I'll tell you this right now. I found out later. He's got an ugly wife, so I think that's what his problem is.
Wait, you're not mad at him? He never saw the message.
I'm mad that he saw the message and never replied.
Oh,
that's the problem. That's what I
responded.
I wrote this beautiful message. He saw it and he just left it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like those old school guys. They don't know what the fuck.
He probably looked up my clips and he went, "Oh, fucking this guy." Huh?
That's very possible. He doesn't subscribe to the podcast
a little more. You big dumb idiot.
All right, we ready to rock here?
I think so.
Yeah. Guys, this has been so much fun.
You're the best.
Thank you. For all of us, I love you, Paul.
I love you. I didn't sound like an asshole, did I?
A little bit, but that's kind of the charm.
Wait, did I?
No. Oh, you're a charming asshole.
You guys are awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Make sure you check them out. Are You Garbage Podcast. You guys got some dates coming up? This will come out the next week or two.
Yeah, I mean we're back on the road starting in August. August 11th, we're going to be at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey. The small theater, but fucking we're very excited about it. Grab some tickets. Come and see us on the road. Check out the podcast.
Did your guy tell you you're doing Red Clay?
Nah, well, you are now.
Yes, they did.
You got confirmed.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So you catch them in Atlanta, right?
Oh, there you go.
Festival. Yeah.
There you go. Hot Atlanta, baby. Look
out.
Yesterday,
I think I got they sent the email.
Fantastic.
So,
yeah.
We're pretty pumped.
Like I said, they don't really tell me what's going on that much. Rightly so.
Keep you in the dark like a mushroom.
Yeah,
that's what we call you.
Feed them shit and keep in the dark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
We love you to death.
Thank you,
That was so much
guys.
fun.